Why are you so tired?
It's been a long week. I'm still playing catch up after last week.
Do you know what? I am playing catch up. If you don't know, last weekend we took part in the MKGP, which is kind of the UK's biggest off-road indoor carpet event.
It was mega. It was mega. And do you know what? I had a little bit of an RC overdose last weekend.
Yeah, it's full on, wasn't it?
It was. And then I've had a bit of an RC come down this week.
Oh, do you know what? I was on my way to work on Monday and it was actually raining. And there was tears of rain outside the car and there was tears going down my cheeks. And anybody who was there, I reckon they can relate to that because Monday morning sucked, man. It was rubbish.
Nasty. But because I was I kind of OD'd on the old RC over the weekend, I didn't do any racing this week. So I got to like Thursday, I started clucking, I did.
You went cluck, cluck, cluck.
Oh, I'm desperate to get out with the cars again.
You say that, but we went to Leighton Buzzard, which we've got some
You went to Leighton, well, I went, but I didn't race, did I?
No, I was just testing out. I'm still testing out my TT01, ready for the ICONIC Cup. We've got the Mend It round coming up in about 4 weeks. We're thoroughly looking forward to that. So you've got to get your car sorted for that.
I'll build my car, boss.
And
I've started building my car.
Okay.
So there's a few issues with the car that I've started to build. In that it was second hand. It's not a new car. It's an ICONIC car. It's got to be an old car that you run at the ICONIC Cup. Yeah. So it's a second hand car. The gears were a bit worn. I replaced those. I tried to do this mod on the diff in the M05, where you tried to seal it, and I put some 500,000 weight oil in it. Put it all back together. And the seals blew, and now the entire gearbox is like, it's gunky and horrible and nasty.
Bottom line is, have you sorted it out?
I sorted that out today, so I've taken it all out. It took me about an hour just to clean the gunk out of the chassis, and I've upgraded with a beautiful Racing geared diff.
Okay, well, you know what? In this car, there is one man, isn't there? He features now and again on the channel, doesn't he?
Are you talking about the legend that is?
Yeah, the legend that is Adam Burgess. He is the M chassis king round these parts. Why don't you just give it to him?
I could just give it to him.
We made him famous. He owes us.
Here we are then, the legend that is Mr. Burgess and his ICONIC Cup M05. So I'm currently in the process of building mine. So I'm hoping to get a few little tips from the main man himself. Where did you come in the M chassis last year for ICONIC?
Third, I think, behind Ian and Hugh, if I remember rightly. So yeah, third last year.
Third last year, and hoping to do better this year, but you are running a slightly different car. So what have we got here?
Standard M05 is how it started life in my daughter's car. So now I've taken a few bits off, put a few bits on, so just upgraded shocks, different front bumper, that came straight off of the M03. And other than that, it's not too bad. So, updated rear hubs just for some towing on the rear. And other than that, not too much different. A few nice blue bits just for cooling.
I am noticing blue bits, and this is the bit that I'm confused about on the rules with regards to what upgrades you are allowed. So you are allowed the blue uprights in the rear.
Yeah, you're allowed upgraded aluminium or plastic or any hubs you want on the rear and on the front as well. That's all open.
Okie doke. And then the steering has to be
plastic. Yeah, we can't upgrade the steering this year in the rules, other than the actual toe adjustment on the links. They're able to be adjustable, but no, standard bridge, standard arms, all that sort of stuff.
Which ones are? So it's these ones.
So these ones here are allowed to be on.
Can be adjustable.
Yeah.
And then heatsink, is that allowed?
Heatsink's allowed. Yeah. I don't know if it does a great deal really through the plastic, but it's it's a Tamiya, it's blue, so it looks nice.
It does look very nice. And then also, this is an upgraded.
Yeah, so you just your quick release battery. That again, I've just pulled that straight off of the M03 from last year.
And you reckon that's allowed?
That's allowed, yeah.
Okay, because I have got one of those. I've not put it on yet because I didn't see it in the list of upgrades. Yeah, I suppose it's not performance based, is it?
Yeah, it just gives you a bit of adjustability to be able to fit the various lipos in. And so this is the standard M05 chassis, so it's the rounded lipo still. It's not the later one.
Yeah, I think that is the same sort of setup that I am running. I'm trying to see if there's anything different that you're doing to what I'm doing. Obviously, at the moment, what have you got in there? Core?
Core 21, last year's motor still at the minute just for testing.
So we've got to go up to the Core 15.
15, yeah, I've got to get my hands on a couple of those.
And then diff-wise, that invisible thing that no one can see, what you're hiding in
magic diff in there. It's the racing oil-filled sealed diff, which is allowed in the M05. Makes things a lot easier than...
Okay, and oil range, what do you reckon?
Not a clue. At the minute, I've got 300,000 in it. We'll see what happens at Mendip on test day.
Excellent stuff. Now, distance-wise and length-wise, what length are you running this car?
So it's built as medium wheelbase, exactly the same as I ran the M03 and I run the M07 like that, so it's medium wheelbase.
And what shell are you going to go for?
Probably one of these. The fat bodies JCW or whatever they call it, but yeah, that's legal this year apparently, so I've got one of those on the way to fit onto that.
It is a little bit more jelly mouldy to the mini shell that I might be running on mine. So
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. But
you're out there to win, I'm out there to have a bit of a laugh. So thank you for talking to us about that. I say this is a project I've got ongoing, and I will be asking more questions in time.
Anytime.
We did put a little shout out, didn't we, before the MKGP, and walking around the actual shopping centre, we would bump into various people and they would give us Scotch eggs. It was very, very funny, and some of them were very nice. But there you go. And I met one nice dude, one nice guy, and he told me to tell you that you're driving Miss Daisy. So I gave him a sticker. Because I don't know where you was when he was there, but he came over and he got us both a Scotch. I had a good chat with him. Nice guy. Took him into the pits, showed him around. I did.
I'll tell you what was popular out of my cars. People wanted to see the Willspeed car.
Yeah.
It was very popular with the fans. So
It was, yeah.
we showed that to quite a few people. And then I was also running my LD3. You were running the Associated.
Yeah.
We got to interview some world champions
didn't we?
An absolute legend in Scotty Ernst.
Yeah, Scotty Ernst. So if you haven't seen those videos, they're in the comments. But we Michael Olowski let us drive his car. I have no idea why he did that, because it could have got broken. But thanks to you for that if he's watching, because we didn't get a chance. It was a busy old day. But I've always wondered, if somebody gave me a champ's car, a really well set up car, would I be any better?
But don't delve any more into that, because we've got so much to say about that, and we learnt a lot from that little experience.
Absolutely.
That there's going to be a whole complete video on what we learnt from driving pros cars, because last week also, that bloke called Andy in the video that I put out at MKGP,
not the tennis player.
Not the tennis player. That bloke called Andy is actually Andy Murray. He's the guy who designed the car. He's a world champion himself. So he's a little bit more than just a bloke called Andy. Some amazing people. We've learnt a lot from some very talented drivers.
Yeah, I think the highlight for me was standing on the rostrum, driving Michael Lowsey's car, and Scotty Ernst is on the left, and I looked over into the pits, and you have all the Schumacher team just watching, which I thought was actually quite funny. That was a weird pinch yourself
I think
moment.
Robin Schumacher was laughing at your driving as well.
I think he probably was, yeah. But no, it was good, wasn't it? Did we do well? No, we done all right. I think I was middle of the road again, like I was last time. I didn't expect any more. The thing is, with a track like that, you either go gung ho and you push, but then you make mistakes, or do you hold back? I held back.
You took a little bit of a leaf out of my book and went the bit
I had
driving Miss Daisy.
The thing is, when you get there, you get 6 minutes practice, and then that's it. It's like you're qualifying.
Do you know what though? Yeah. That 6 minutes practice wasn't 6 minutes practice, because it was seeded practice, and that seeding practice, I thought, was just practice, and that's what scuppered me, because actually it was your 2 fastest consecutive laps which then seeded you in your round.
See, that surprises me about you. You normally know what's going on more than me. And
but I was just sort of...
Where was early?
I was practising.
Yeah.
So I didn't get 2 consecutive laps, which put me smack bang bottom of the pile, was in the bottom heat.
Very true.
As it goes, I only made it up 1 heat, But it made for some close racing, I suppose, on the day.
Yeah, it did. Actually, the race that I filmed and watched, it was a good race. So it's really quite good to watch.
And actually, if it wasn't for that ball stud popping off, I reckon I would have held on for the win in that one.
You would have done, and he was on for a 12 lapper, and that's what I got.
Yeah,
so
and I was less than a minute away from the buzzer, as it were, in the lead. I probably had a 3-second lead over second and third, because they were sort of tangling with each other. And then I went over a little roller, went to turn right, the ball stud popped off, and the car went straight on. Marshall put it back on the track, and I went flying down the straight, got to the end of the straight, turned in, and where the ball stud had popped off, the car went straight on.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Well,
really,
that's the way, that's racing, ain't it?
That is racing.
These big events are really good, and it's nice to be part of. But I always say that, we just haven't honed the skills really to get those buggies as best as we can, because it's one of those things that you need to practice and practice and practice that. However, we have the summer coming up. We're going to go to Hearts, and we're going to really, really milk that one, aren't we? We're going to really go
100%.
Go down there midweek and just practice.
So the MKGP was amazing. An amazing event.
It was, yeah.
But we need to message the guys that organised it.
I know, the guys that organised it. Silverstone Radio Control Car Club, we've been down there and seen them. They put it on last year. There's only a few guys that do that. It is incredible what they do. I have no idea, right, how they put it on, but they are basically geniuses as far as I'm concerned, because that event ran so smoothly from what I saw. Maybe it's hard work for them.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you've got those guys that know how to lay out a track, they know how to put on an event, the space is amazing, and then you've got Scotty on race control.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's just absolutely brilliant. Down to the pitting, down to the rostrum, down to the racing etiquette. I didn't see anyone having a go. It was just brilliant. So, and I'm talking to you, Silverstone Radio Control Car Club. Well done, amazing.
Thank you.
Go. Yeah,
looking forward to next year. Do it
again. Yeah. If they let us,
Do it again.
Actually, next year, I want to do vintage next year.
Well, next year, I want to do trucks. So I'm thinking Storm 2, or I think Associated do a truck as well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
But I'm going to go trucks. You're going to go vintage.
Yeah, I'm going to build that Dave Cobra we got kicking around.
You do. How are you getting on with that? And my Tamiya, because you took that about a month ago to build.
Yeah, well, that's I'm still. Well, I still look at it when I walk past it occasionally, but it'll get done. Don't worry about it, man. You can't rush perfection. I've told you this. I've told you this many, many times. Many times. You can't rush perfection. They'll tell you that.
I just want my supercharged, super duper hot
I'm
shot.
on it. I'm on it.
Get on it.
I'm on it.
Anyway,
I have got something that someone gave me. I'm not going to tell you about it.
Okay.
It's something new-ish for
Coming
the channel.
to the channel soon.
Coming to the channel soon.
Yeah.
Put it like this: you need reactions as fast as lightning.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying.